Well, here we go again. Another nasty storm bearing down to Janice Dean, the weather machine, with the very latest. Janice, help us out here.
Eric, I wish I could. Spring can't come soon enough across the Midwest and the Northeast, where we're dealing with, in some cases, the third snowiest winter on record. Indianapolis, it is the biggest, snowiest record on for you. Taking a look at where we're dealing with the snow right now across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. And then we're also seeing this mixing here of freezing rain and or sleet pushing across Indiana and Ohio. A little concerned here. Chicago, you could easily get 5 to 8 inches of snow. Of course, flights are delayed or canceled in this area. That's causing a ripple effect across the country. And then this mess is going to move eastward. We're going to get the potential for several inches of snow over the mountainous terrain, and then D.C., Philadelphia, New York, just in time for your morning commute. I know. Let's track it down here for you. There's Tuesday morning, Eric, 6 a.m. You can see Cleveland getting in on it. D.C., you're going to see some flurries here up towards Philadelphia and New York and Long Island. It's going to be in and around the New York City area until at least noon. We could see snow heavy at times. In some cases, it could be like a blizzard. We could see really, really heavy snow, an inch or two an hour, and then up towards New England for their evening commute. So again, 3 storms in just a matter of a week is incredible, Eric. And taking a look at your snowfall totals, again, in and around New York, we think 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches of snow. North of that is where we could see the higher snow totals, especially in the mountainous terrains. Maybe a couple of inches around Philadelphia. It's going to be too warm in D.C., mainly a rain event. But interior sections across the Great Lakes, that's where you're also going to see several inches of snow. And look at this, Eric. I mean, typically we get about 15 inches in Philadelphia. We're already past 55 inches. NYC, 17 inches. Already past 55 inches here, and same for Boston. So incredible snow totals, and we still have weeks to go. One piece of good news here as we head into Friday, 50s. Oh, how I've missed you. So we'll see one day of 50s, and then as we head into next week, back into the freezer again.
Oh, my goodness. All right, enough of this. 31 days or so till spring.
See what you can do.
All right, thanks, Janice. Forget the freezing. Focus on the warming. Apparently, it wasn't just talk, because right after Senate Democrats vowed to pressure Sunday talk shows to devote more time to global warming, look what happened.
Why so much extreme weather?
Climate change, burning fossil fuels, means that we're going to see more of these very expensive extreme weather events.
These weather extremes.
We know that climate change is happening and humans are contributing.
Now I want to turn to the politics of weather.
You don't need a PhD in climate science to understand what's going on.
It used to be called global warming. Now, not so much.
It became climate change when you couldn't prove that there was much global warming anymore.
To the Media Research Center's Brent Bozell. Brent, so the Senate Democrats said, let's talk global warming, or, I'm sorry, climate change, and the media responded.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it appears that if some left-wing senators say jump, then the network's answer is how high. It's an amazing proposition of what happened, Eric. You had some left-wing organization maintain that over the past 3 years, the networks had only spent 44 minutes on the subject of global warming. I don't know if that's true or not, but assuming it is, the senators, using that number, all demanded, these left-wing senators demanded that the network spend more time. Yesterday alone, in one day alone, 45 minutes, 52 seconds. More time than the last 3 years combined. And it was, except for Fox, which of course had a balanced panel, except for Fox, it was a tsunami promoting global warming.
Yeah, and I think that's important there, that some of the Sunday talk shows really leaned heavily on the left's opinion that the climate is changing because of global warming.
Well, look at Matt Lauer. I mean, this is what Matt Lauer says as an objective reporter. David Gregory, he says, in the scientific community, this is not really a debate about whether climate change is real. The consensus is that it is. The majority of those who believe, in fact, that it is caused by humans. So that is being presented as objective truth, and it's nothing of the sort. Imagine this, Eric. What do you think would be their reaction if a conservative panel from the Senate wrote them a letter saying, given that 49 states were under snow and we've got the most frigid winter in recent memory, we want to do a series debunking global warming. Do you think they would have reacted this way?
I think they would.
What do you think would happen if Rand Paul and If Rand Paul and his friends send a letter to the network saying, you ought to be talking about cutting taxes, do you think they would listen? If Ted Cruz said, I think you need to do more attention on the right to life, do you think they would listen to him for a second?
No,
I
don't. Well, I want to do this. I want to run a soundbite of Secretary of State John Kerry, who's kind of following up. So, in other words, here's how this works. The Senate Democrats, or whoever, the Democrats get the idea that this is the next talking point, and they're going to run with it. The media follows along, they play along, and they get a bunch of Democrats who hit the talk show circuits, and then the politicians jump on board as well. Listen to John Kerry.
Climate change can now be considered another weapon of mass destruction, perhaps even the world's most fearsome weapon of mass destruction.
So, coincidence? Timing's interesting, is it not?
No, but this is the radical left. I mean, he says that, and they cover him. They cover him so he can say some more. Al Gore, whatever Al Gore says, they run as biblical truth. When he says something, nobody raises the question, my God, this is a world that is about to go up in flames, the flames of war. And our Secretary of State is talking about this? Yeah. No one's asking that question.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Al Gore won the Peace Prize, Nobel Prize on global warming, and now they can't even call it that anymore because it just ain't happening. I'm going to leave it right there.
They can't,
Brent Bozell,
because it's climate change.
Right.